Good morning, Bismarck-Mandan in western New York, Fredonia, New York. It is snowy all over the place. Everyone's just getting pounded. I am grateful that we have such great city plows going, but they completely buried my snow at midnight when I was at sunrise at the shelter last night. But we got out.
Good.
That Mini Cooper, it's tougher than it looks.
Plows right through.
Yeah, I'm Jena, by the way. Co-hosting with me is Amber Ruzicka, our operations manager. And thank the good Lord you're back from maternity leave, Amber.
Yeah, I might be a little rough. It's been a while since I've done this thing called a radio gig.
Oh, you're a natural. You're a natural. I'm kind of glad you were gone, though, because you missed all the complete mayhem with our office turning into homeless Grand Central Station.
Yes.
And you know what? I make jokes because I don't really know what else to do. It's kind of bizarre that United Way is doing this. And honest to God, we waited till the very last minute. You know, because you went on maternity leave when? End of November?
Yeah, we just started helping individuals. Gosh, I'd probably at the office maybe for a couple weeks.
Right. Well, and so you were a part of some of those meetings with the Homeless Coalition, and they wanted to take the lead, which is wonderful. But for various reasons, there just wasn't a plan. So that's when United Way stepped in. Crazy. A few months later, bam! Hello, sunrise.
With staff that are not social workers, but we're getting there.
Yes. However, I do have to make a public service announcement. United Way has hired a licensed social worker for our homeless shelter. So Jara Thompson.
Yeah, which is great to have her and have some of that knowledge that I definitely do not have.
But you know, it really takes a strong team, and that's what we're looking to build right now. So if you know anyone who wants to help, either in a volunteer capacity or needing some paid hours, get in touch with our office. We're at 515 North 4th. We just need a resume if you're interested in working, and if you're interested in volunteering, we do need to interview you. We're really careful about protecting the most vulnerable people in our community. And we also need to have some semblance of control, which is hysterical too. But to know who the volunteers are and give them jobs and have it just be very orderly, it needs to be structured. Our goal is for it to be a drug-free, alcohol-free environment. So we did have one volunteer going through bags, and it was interesting. It was Ted Cash. Did you know that? Ted, I randomly asked him Sunday, thinking, oh, my God, I'm not going to be able to do this on Monday night. And I said, Ted, can you help? And he liked those gloves that we got him. He was very familiar with it because he used to work for, I don't know, TSA or the airport or something.
Oh, weird.
In his younger years.
You learn something every day.
So we had a professional bag searcher on duty. But then we had some of the clients helping us, which was really cool because, this young woman who's been staying with us, and she has a history of addiction, and she's struggling, but she's been doing really great since we started helping her. And she's going to treatment, of course. And so we just had her handing out the towels, and if anyone needed toothbrush, toothpaste, hygiene supplies. So that's one thing I just don't want to forget to say is everyone's saying, what do you need? What do you need? We have a list that we posted on Facebook, but last night we needed more toothpaste. I mean, we had enough for last night, but if we get new folks tonight, which I know we will, especially with the snow, especially because their friends were able to test us out last night and hear how cool we were. I know people are going to be flocking.
Oh, I'm sure.
To Sunrise. So we actually opened March 1st, which was the goal, but we started with women and children.
Yeah, and some other things, tissues, disinfectant wipes, things that it takes to run a shelter, hand sanitizer, liquid soap for the bathroom. If you are willing to go shopping for us, give the office at United Way a call, 255-3601. We will be more than willing to provide you with a list because it takes more than just having sheets and pillowcases on the beds. It takes a lot more supplies and things to run the shelter, things that we are still learning what those items are, but we're continuing to go out and get them, and sometimes stealing all that there is on the shelves. So when they get restocked, we need more people to go shopping for us. So if you're willing to help, please call the office.
Yeah, and we really do. We don't want to sound snobby, but we really want to be careful what we're bringing into the shelter. And although we know a lot of people, we don't know every single person, but we do have a lot of experience with that food drive every year with the post office. Now, 99.9% of what people give is wonderful. Well, maybe that's a little high. Is it more like 90%? Yeah. Okay, 90% of the food that people leave by their mailbox is awesome. And then there's that 10%. Mm-hmm. That 10% is out there, and they give us expired products from 1975.
Or something that they've already opened and used one sleeve of crackers.
It's so gross.
Yes.
Yes. So we want new items because, quite frankly, we do not have the staffing to go through and sort through what's needed at the shelter, what's in good condition, what's not. We're not accepting any clothes because we do have Seeds of Hope. We have Brighton's thrift store, and then Ministry on the Margins has a lot of supplies. So we send our folks over there mainly because space and staff time. So there is a gentleman looking for a size 12 pair of boots. So winter boots is a big one, especially yesterday. People don't realize how tough it is for the homeless when just things like a winter storm hits us. I mean, we complain about not getting our cars around. Well, we're lucky to have cars. Mm. It's unbelievable, and it's just so sad. They had nowhere to go during the daytime. The library closed, and that's usually where they go. So the library closed, and then Salvation Army had offered to help people during the day since January, but they were closed. And so I guess what I'm saying is, when you're homeless and there's nowhere for you to go, what do you do? So basically, Sister Kathleen at Ministry on the Margins opened her doors. Oh, because Soup Cafe was closed. Mm-hmm. So we had nowhere to have these folks go. So Ministry on the Margins opened their doors for a couple hours. And then I told Sister Kathleen they could send folks over early. I got a few taxis to send people over early to Sunrise. And that's where our people hung out, which was really cool because we have a sectional couch. We have a table. We have a TV. We're trying to make it really cozy and homey. We're not done with the renovations yet. United Way is not paying for any of these renovations. It's mostly the owners or any in-kind donations that we've received. For example, Basin Electric gave us carpeting, which looks beautiful. Great. Oh my gosh. I really want to take them through just so they could see the before and after
right.
almost. And House of Color, a big shout out to them for helping to donate flooring in the lobby area. Pat Finken with Odney Advertising helped with a lot of advertising and helped me on the initial walkthroughs of this building. Chuck Huber, it was his idea to start with months ago, but I didn't think it was a good idea at the time, so I really had to pray on that one. So there are just a ton of people. And Andre was out shopping. Calvin and Amy Hullett gave us some beds this weekend and delivered them. All sorts of good people.
Yeah, Mikey Hoven's been running all over town. She's been running in Minot, getting us supplies, just really helping us out because we're such a small staff, so we can't be always running everywhere direction. So it's great to have these great community leaders just stepping up and helping in any way they can.
Mikey Hoven ran into Real Deals, talked with the owner, and got this beautiful painting donated.
Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh.
I haven't seen that yet.
Styling our office. It's beautiful. It's like night and day. Night and day, sunrise. So if you're interested in volunteering, preparing a meal, donating, we need a microwave. Any way you want to help, you give us a call, 255-3601. We're going to be talking in just a couple minutes with two of my favorite people from the YMCA.
Right now, 21.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on SuperTalk 1270.
Welcome back. You are listening to United Way's Community Talk. I'm the Executive Director of United Way, Jena Gullo, and co-hosting with me is Amber Ruzicka, our Operations Manager.
Good morning.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you didn't have the microphone. Bill stole your mic.
We have two important guests, so they are using the mics.
Well, Amber, I have to tell you, my mother said great to hear that familiar voice. Welcome back, Amber.
Oh, hi, Barbara. Hope you're feeling well.
My mom's tuning in from New York. She's our one loyal fan.
Did she get this on the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Great.
Online.
Hello, Mrs. G.
One loyal fan.
We're national. We have coverage.
You're big time now. Big time now.
Yep.
You've made the big
time. New York, especially. Woo!
This is great. Wow. Well, hi in New York and all across the country.
Okay, so we're really excited. We have Bill Bauman from the Executive Director, CEO, man in command at the YMCA. And then we have Raquel. Raquel.
I want to hear you try it, Jena.
Nacatio.
Yeah.
Nachatilo.
It's like nachos.
You
Nachatilo.
get 3 out of 5 stars for that pronunciation.
Nachatilo. I should have asked you. I'm sorry. And it's not like I haven't known you forever, but yeah, that's
Well,
It's just one
that's
of those.
almost like as bad as Ruzicka.
yeah,
What
you-
was
It gets
your
worse.
Raquel? What was your maiden name?
Jackson.
I was gonna say
way easier.
Excellent transition.
because Amber's was Jensen.
That's how it goes.
That's hysterical. That's great news. I'm so
That would
glad.
be really something if you two were married and it was Ruzicka Nachatilo. That'd take
you
a half
hyphenate-
hour to.
And you hyphenated.
Yes.
Yeah. It'd take a long time to get that one out.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. It's fun. You should just come every week.
Thanks for
Well,
having us.
and a little known story is that when Raquel interviewed for the HR director position at the Y, and this was how many years ago?
5.5 years ago already.
5.5 years ago. And I was conducting the interviews, and I went up to get Raquel for the interview, and I introduced her as Rachel
Yes.
instead of Raquel, and she smiled so nice and didn't say anything. And then later, of course, I realized
So then after I got hired, that's been our
it's a standing joke.
standing joke. It's Rachel.
Well, it's funny because one of my board members, he's not on my board anymore, but we were at a company meeting doing a presentation, and he's just notorious for missing my board meetings. And he did my introduction to this company, and he called me Jena. Jena. And everyone just looked at him because I'm there every year. They all know I'm Jena. And so I just said, yeah, well, maybe if you came to more board meetings, you'd know how to pronounce my name.
Exactly. But you didn't say that. We know you didn't say that.
Oh, no, I did say
Oh, you
that.
did say that? Oh, good one.
Hysterical.
Oh, way to get back.
Everyone was in an uproar laughing.
Way
It
to
was
poke
great.
fun there.
Yeah, I don't have a filter anymore, I'm finding. With my level of fatigue, like as it gets more and more and more,
Yeah.
I just let it loose.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an 80-year-old that
Yeah.
just kind of says what they think they can say.
Footloose should be your theme song now or something, or Turn It Loose, whatever that would be.
All right, well, let's talk about some serious matters. How's it going at the Y? You guys are just doing a phenomenal job and expanding and working your tails off, huh?
Thank you. Yes, a lot of community impact. Let's put it that way. You know, we've had a real capacity building, you could say, in the last few years, a real growth phase, a planned growth phase. And so we're impacting so many more people and families now with the addition of our 2 new facilities, one being our new child care center up on East Century Avenue, which is, for a lot of people, the old Rasmussen College building. We take care of about 175 children there daily, and that's
Wow.
Infant, toddler, preschool. So it's a big operation. It's almost as big as the main site's child care, because we're upwards of 200 kids in the infant, toddler, preschool age division. So that's very busy, and it serves a great need for child care in the community. And we also work with some corporate sponsors or corporate partners on that, Basin Electric, Sanford Health, and then CHI St. Alexis. We have a lot of those spots are employee spots, so if that helps the employees, it helps the business. It also takes some pressure off of the other providers in the community and the need, and although there's still a great need for that.
You know, what I really love, I don't mean to cut you off, though, is the people that we primarily serve, not all, but some, that need help with childcare because it is so expensive. And the Y fills a lot of that demand.
Yeah, there's no question. In order to run a child care center in this day and age, it's different. If you're maybe a small mom and pop in your home taking care of a few kids, it's a little different situation, animal. But the big centers, there's plenty of costs associated with it. And if it's pretty hard to be in business and lose money. You won't be in business for very long. You got to at least break even or improve upon that. And in order to do that, your fees, you have to be very efficient, very cost effective, so you can keep your fees as low as you can to serve the community in a good way. But it's not cheap, cheap at all. And I think everybody knows that too. Yeah,
and so you're able to offer scholarships to families in need.
Yes, folks that it's just it's difficult. They have a difficult situation, whatever that may be. That could be brought on by a single parent family trying to make ends meet. It can be brought on by additional medical expenses or just things that are challenging and facing the family. And we can all be different. We could be sitting next to somebody right now in your workplace that's receiving that type of financial assistance or scholarship. We don't know what their situation is, and it's wrong for us to judge without walking in their shoes. So there's plenty of people with great need out there, and we want to meet that need as best we can and partner with United Way in ways that we can to help meet that need.
Bill, what's the process? If someone knows someone in need, maybe it is their coworker, maybe it's a family member, how do they apply for those scholarships?
That's a good question, and it's all a confidential process. Because, we may be going through a hardship period for a couple of years in our lives where things are just falling apart, or we've lost a spouse for whatever reason. But it's all a confidential process. So in the case of like membership assistance, where people can't afford the Y, but they need that social and physical and mental wellness that they get for both them and their families, it's a matter of just contacting the Y, stopping at the Y. Private, confidential process. I tell people you could be working out at the Y, and there could be 3 of you on a treadmill next to each other, and 2 of you might be on a scholarship or financial assistance. You don't know it. They don't wear anything. They don't look any different. It's all private, confidential. Childcare is the same way, or preschool assistance. It's all confidential.
So you do childcare scholarships, you do needy family scholarships, so people can go in and work out and keep their family healthy. I know you partner a lot with the group homes.
We do.
In town and other programming.
And I promised Raquel that at some point I'd let her talk.
It's okay. I'm used to it. Don't let me get started, because then I won't let you have it back.
Yeah, maybe you want to talk a little bit about, because we work one
I'll
thing.
Let you talk about the group homes. I think you have good experience with them.
Okay, we scholarship and work on a financial assistance with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, but specifically with all these group homes, and that can be anywhere from community options to Pride to Boys Ranch. To Youth Works, it can be any of these
Charles
groups.
Hall, Abuse Adult Resource Center.
Absolutely. A lot of these groups have a standing membership with us, and they bring groups of kids or families over to use the Y. But it's just a wide range. It's kind of interesting if you come in sometime during the day, maybe in the afternoon, and just look in our welcome center where people are just sitting and maybe gathering. How many of those people are here from community options or one of the group homes or whatever?
I think that is just awesome. So we're going to be talking more with the Y with Raquel, a.k.a. Rachel, and Bill. And we're going to be talking about programs you may not even know exist over at the Y, like Live Strong, their Parkinson's program. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
Right now, 21.
Dave Ramsey is heard here. SuperTalk 1270.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jena Gullo. I work at the United Way, and we need your help. All sorts of needs out there. Go online to MSA unitedway.org, or like us on Facebook. That's where we put some various needs as the days stroll along. Right now, I'm looking for a good microwave because our clients, they can't always get over to Soup Cafe. They might have some walking limitations. And they do have the banquet at Trinity Lutheran, and we do have volunteers that are going to be bringing in meals. But, it'd be nice if they could prepare some things and eat in our nice lobby at Sunrise. So if you want to help the homeless, call our office. We've got plenty of ways to do that. And another great entity in our community that we have a long-standing history with is the YMCA. We're talking with Bill Bauman and Raquel Nachatilo.
That was close.
Tylo.
That was way better.
Darn it. Nachatilo.
Like tile.
Tylo. Oh,
Like
Nachatilo.
tiles on the floor.
Okay. Well, so, what I love so much about the Y, and of course, your leadership, both of you. It's just, you guys are amazing to work with, and I appreciate who you are as individuals. But beyond that, or maybe stemming from that, the culture that you've created at the YMCA is huge. And we, just seeing so many people so involved, and you really reach out and you grab everyone from the community and you say, hey, be a part of this.
I think it's extremely important for us, and when you talk about Ys, and of course United Way and our great partnership, but you talk about community and serving the community, and that's really first and foremost on the mind of the Y. But two words I'll share with you, and one, that's welcoming and inclusive. It's in our strategic plan. It's really important for us as a Y to be welcoming and inclusive and treat everybody for that dignity that they deserve, no matter what their background is, financial, race, sex, age. It doesn't matter. And we're called to do that. We have a Christian mission. We're called to do that. But I think that welcoming and inclusive nature, and it's woven throughout everything that we do. But it's really fun as a Y member. You're not going to just see one single slice of life. It's in some ways it's so diverse to spend time at the Y. It's like maybe United Nations sample at sometimes. We have a lot of people of different ethnic background in our community now. I believe they find a welcoming home, and a home base in the Y. They know that's a place because it's a very strong brand and it's all over the world. We have such a diverse membership. It's a joy to see.
What's really cool though is just sitting in your lobby.
Yeah, I like to say that if you want to see what Bismarck-Mandan looks like today, just come and hang out at the Y in our lobby for a couple of hours. It really is amazing how that's changed in just a short time, really over the last 5 years, to see how our community has really become so much more diverse. And like Bill said, you see that in our membership, and we're so pleased to provide that environment for our community. But we also see it in our employees. You mentioned culture, Jena. That's something that we really try to permeate through our employment culture as well. Our employment brand is called Change Lives, Including Yours. And we're really looking for people that want to change the lives of people in our community while they end up having an impact on their own life. And we've really found that helps us to find the right people to have on staff at the Y, which is a very diverse group. You not only see it in our members, but you see it in our employees. We have employees that speak all kinds of different languages in our child care department, in our maintenance and housekeeping department, and it's just so fun to get to know them. Bill is learning some Chinese and
Mandarin.
Spanish, and
yes.
We really enjoy our diverse employees as well as our membership.
I think that's so neat. I'm going to have to come and grab a cup of coffee because you have a coffee company in your lobby now, right?
We do. We're so excited about Mighty Missouri Coffee Company in the YMCA. They opened, I believe it was October. Does that sound right, Bill?
November.
November. And right when you come into the main lobby at the Y, just right off to the side where the pools are, you can grab a cup of coffee from Mighty Missouri, and they have a great menu there as well. They have sandwiches and healthy things on the go. So all of our members as well as the community are welcome to come in and check out Mighty Missouri. So it's a great place for community, for people to gather and really connect with
And
people.
what I think is neat over the last few years, too, is how the Y looks at the community and identifies some of the gaps and figures out, well, does it fit our mission and how can we fill some of those?
Absolutely. I think a good example of that is we were talking about our new childcare location on Century Avenue here in Bismarck, but we also have childcare in Mandan. And we saw a need there to help fill some childcare needs in the community on the Mandan side as well.
Raquel, do you have any spots open at the new center?
In Mandan?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Sweet.
And we focus on preschool education in the Mandan site, as well as after-school care and summer programming. So it's
You
a
could
nice
see the
opportunity.
mom in the group writing that down feverishly. What did you say? What did you say?
We had to be strategic about what we could do over there. There's only 2 classrooms, so you don't have the ability to have a progression throughout the ages. So we had to look and say, what can we do? So we focused on the 3, 4, 5 during the day, and then the after-school care, which is much needed too in summer after school.
What age range do you do after school care?
The after-school care would be K through. You don't see the 6th graders, but you may see up through
up to 5. We have 5th graders.
5th graders, absolutely.
So, and then, 2 of the programs that we started funding to get them off the ground and still help have just been so successful. And I think they're unfortunately, the best kept secrets and about the why. So talk to us about Live Strong.
Yeah. I'll let you talk about Live
Sure.
Strong.
And thanks, Jena, because those are 2 interesting programs, and they're ways that we can serve the need. Live Strong is a cancer survivor program. People that have been through, are going through cancer treatment, or a lot of times they've just been through their cancer treatment. We provide then a free 6-week program. So 6 weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks, okay. Got different things in my head. 12-week program for them and a caretaker or spouse or partner or whatever. They both go through this together, and they're with a like cohort, like group, and they're regaining their life is what they are. They're finding their normal life again because they've been, in some cases, can be devastated by what they've gone through emotionally and medically. We are introducing them back to exercise, getting them exercising, teaching them things, doing small group things, and then they also have their cohort. There are other people in the group, and they can rebuild together. So that's Live Strong, and that goes in these 12-week cycles. A very powerful and successful program.
Yeah, we've had some clients from your program speak at our United Way events, and just how life-changing it is, and how well they're doing emotionally and physically right now.
Bill and I just heard a testimony from a Live Strong participant named Belva. And Belva has an amazing story. I don't know if you've heard her story yet, Jena, but she always sums up her experience in Live Strong saying, it saved my life. She just felt after treatment that she just didn't know how she was going to get out and get moving and have a normal, healthy life again. And she has an amazing testimony. And we're just very thankful that we can, by partnering with the United Way, to provide programs like that in the community.
And the Parkinson's program has been huge. I mean, I get calls all the time just saying thank you to the Y, thank you to United Way for offering this. So talk to people out there in the listening world.
We kind of felt like we were ahead of the curve on that one. Not very many communities have this. Parkinson's is a very debilitating, challenging disease. Can start early in life, all the way up through late in life. But if you're on, in medical treatment and you're going through some medical physical therapy, that's fine. But then what happens when that stops? What do you do with the rest of your life? You're back integrated into the community. That's where we wanted to step in. So like Live Strong, this is free. This is a completely free program. Parkinson's classes, all completely free. And you just have to contact the Y to get involved in either of them. Or United Way, they'll send you up there. Or maybe it's your cancer survivor, like a Bismarck Cancer Center, or your doctor. They'll point you in the right directions. But just contact the Y. Parkinson's sufferers, that's a tough one. And this helps them make physical improvement. It helps them to stall off the the debilitating effects of Parkinson's. They're in group exercise classes is what they're doing. There's a lot of instruction, a lot of support.
Yoga, everything, meditation. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's really meant to get them, and we test before and after. That's not a bad thing.
They have an intake program.
Yeah, it just helps to, we can measure the results, and they're making great progress on stopping that bad effect and maybe reversing and getting them to where they're physically more able than they were.
Yep. And then prime time for senior citizens in our community, helping them to be independent. So we have Live Strong. We have our child care assistants. We have Parkinson's. You have the community aspect of the Y. People can support this by attending your basketball.
Yeah, we have an exciting premiere fundraising event coming up here in March 23rd. It's a Friday evening, and it's a formal event with a casual flair. So we invite everyone to come and join in with us at basketball. It's going to be at the YMCA in our gymnasium, but it'll be kind of a black tie event. So you can register online or give us a call at the Y. Corporate entities can even host a table and have a fun night out for their employees. So we'd love to have everyone come and join us.
Dinner,
dancing,
live silent auction.
Yeah.
Shooting hoops? No.
Yeah, free throw contest.
There
even.
might
All
be,
right.
who knows? There might be
I knew
something
it. How much
like
is
that.
it to go?
It's, I think, $50 for an individual, and then we have other rates for the corporate.
Fantastic.
sponsors.
March 23rd, we will see you at the YMCA's basketball. I like that name.
Yeah, play on words.
Thanks for calling, Bell. You guys are awesome.
Thanks
you,
for all you
Jenna.
do,
Appreciate
Jenna.
it.
Thanks, Amber.
Currently, it's 22.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on SuperTalk 1270.
Welcome back. You are listening to United Way's Community Talk. I'm Jena Gullo, the Executive Director of the Missouri Slope Areawide United Way, in studio with the fabulous Amber Jensen. Oopsie. Amber Jensen Ruzicka, the Operations Manager at United Way.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone made it to work safely and got plowed out, if not.
It was crazy. I'll be honest. I thought it was pretty mild in the morning. People were saying, "Oh, are we open?" Well, yeah, we can't just shut down. Of course, no one else in the community felt that way. Everything was closed.
I know, and they say we're supposed to get another 4 inches today. We'll see.
That's fun. Fun stuff, I tell you.
It's melting pretty quickly on the roads, which is nice.
Yeah, and it is North Dakota. So, I mean,
You always got to expect these nasty March storms. They always come every year.
wow. Oh, yeah, it is North Dakota.
Yeah,
Got to take the good with the bad.
that's right.
But it did make yesterday a little bit challenging in trying to help the homeless population that we've been serving. They had nowhere to go all day long. It was really kind of sad. It was very sad. I felt so badly for them. And some of them have physical limitations and can't walk long distances. And plus with the snow and the ice, it was challenging for anyone to walk. We actually had a mother who had her 10-year-old boy out until curfew, is 9 p.m. at sunrise. And she didn't come strolling in until well after 10. They had walked miles. They had her kids. She had 2 other kids. None of them had eaten. So I asked one of our volunteers to run to the Burger King or McDonald's or the store, and everything was closed. So he ended up going to a gas station and getting some sandwiches and things for them, which was so nice. But you don't think about those things,
Right.
kids that didn't eat all day long. And,
Yeah, hopefully they get enrolled in school and
yeah, they're on the path.
Good.
They are on the path, and they had a warm and safe place to be last night. And we also, we had opened Sunrise March 1st for women and children, and then last night for all of the men. So we are in full operation mode. So if you do see someone who is in need of shelter, we are letting people during the snow come early to Sunrise. But typically it's going to be 8 p.m. for men. 8 p.m. They can stay there all night. And it's not just like a hotel. They can't just come and go as they please. They can't just stay one night, go on a bender with their friends for a couple nights, and then come back. That's going to happen. But our rules. We want commitment. We want people to be wanting to work on themselves. If they're using, they need to be in treatment. They need to be trying to get sober.
Yeah, and really trying to help themselves get jobs. You know, there's lots of opportunities out there. It's sometimes just finding the right fit, and that's going to be a lot of how we're going to be assisting and making sure they get those opportunities within our community to have a job, to be helping others in our community, and hopefully being able to then support themselves outside of the shelter.
We have the kindest, meekest, nicest man you will ever meet. And he was in his apartment for 14 years. He went into the hospital because he had gout. And so he was in the hospital for a few months, in and out. Well, his hospital bills piled up. He ended up being 4 months late on his rent. He's from Bismarck, his whole life from Bismarck. And he was evicted from his apartment. Mm-hmm. He has trouble walking, and he has applied to over 30 different jobs. And so, you know, one thing he asked us is, could we figure out, you know, some way where he could get a haircut? Right. And he does, because when he goes into these places, and even though he's clean, you know, prior to Sunrise opening up, he'd have to carry his backpack, which are all of his belongings. Mm-hmm. His hair is kind of shaggy. You know, it's just so sad. So it's not that these folks don't want to be on their own, and they just sometimes need a little assistance to get on that path to self-sufficiency. So what I'm thinking is we don't need to pay people to help with some of the needs at Sunrise. If we can find some consistent volunteers. And here are some of the volunteer jobs. And you can't just show up, because we don't want just anyone coming in and then not knowing, are they a client? Are they, you know, because a lot of our clients, they don't look like a stereotypical homeless person. Right. And we have to screen you, and we have to know you're coming to keep some order. So we don't want just people showing up. But if you're interested, some of the needs are helping with intake and helping in the morning. So between 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. We have various jobs. It could be everything from handing out towels and hygiene supplies to knocking on doors and getting people up in the morning. So that's one job. Another job is helping to inventory. We had a wonderful young lady from University of Mary, Caitlin Murray, who helped yesterday and is coming back today to finish up the job and helping us inventory donations, figuring out, okay, what can we take over to Sunrise? If you have any donations out there, can you please check our donation list on our Facebook page and make sure it's something that we truly need. We don't have staffing to sort through old used items and get them to the thrift stores or to Ministry on the Margin. We just don't have the capacity for that. We're very limited right now. So if you could help us out in that way, we'd be appreciative of that.
Yeah, and we want the items, like Jenna said, to be new. Like she said, we're kind of picky in what we bring over there, and so we want to make sure it's new. It's something that we're going to use. Clothes at this point, we're not accepting, but there's a lot of places in town that will. And so if you are wondering where those locations are, feel free to call the United Way office, 255-3601, and we can point you in that direction, because there's definitely a need for those items in our community. It's just not able to be dropped off at the United Way office. If you've been in our office, we have a cute little dining room where we're collecting the donations right now, and we are getting full, which is awesome. We've had great support from our community so far as we're opening the shelter.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Just awesome. But we also know that we can't just think short term. We have to think long term. And so we're going to continue to need those items to keep our costs low. And that's what we do at United Way. We try to use the donor dollars as efficiently and as effectively as humanly possible. So another volunteer job is being a mentor. If you could mentor one or two clients and helping them to find employment, maybe it's helping them to learn interview skills, build a resume. We are linked with job service, so we do, have that connection, but sometimes that's just, sometimes just a little bit of support and talking through, what should you do when you go to apply for a job, and what should you say, and how do you look people in the eye? I mean, it's really simple Well, it's interesting. It's simple to us because that's how we were raised, and we had a good education. We were able to focus on those types of skill sets. And when people are struggling, we had a kid, oh my gosh, a young 20-something-year-old, and we were doing his screening through the intake process, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll be okay. I've been homeless, since I was a kid." It's like, wow, just blows you away.
And he probably has no direction of, even really thinking what is possible. What are the jobs out there that he could potentially get? What are his aspirations? Because no one's probably ever asked him. And so that would be the great thing about these mentors, is really just start asking them, what have you always dreamed of doing? And maybe what are some simple things that we can start doing now that can help build some of those maybe skills or confidence within these individuals to help them start looking at a positive direction, because sometimes you just don't know what your options are and what opportunities are out there. So if you go on job service, you may see all these options, but it may be overwhelming. So just having some guidance and some people there to coach you and help you along would be so great for many of these individuals.
We're going to be starting a skills group. It's going to be once a week, and we're going to be serving a meal with that skills group. And so if you feel that you have a skill, and honestly, it could be anything. It could be parenting, or maybe you work in banking, or you're a financial advisor, or maybe you want to help people learn how to open up a checking account, or maybe it's budgeting, whatever that skill might be. Maybe you're a construction company. Is that what you said, Amber? Mm-hmm. That was a great idea. Yeah. Whatever you think might be applicable, call our United Way office. We'll get you on the schedule. And that's what we're going to be about, is getting these people out of homelessness as soon as possible, but with the right supports. They need a roof over their head. They have that through Sunrise, but now they need a way to carry on and be independent. So
yeah, help them navigate the system, because even when you're in the system, it can be challenging at times. So just to have that support is going to help them go really far.
Yeah. So since end of October, when the Ruth Myers shelter closed, we've helped over 350 people in our community seek shelter. So if you want to be a part of that, please contact our office. And if you've been a part of it, thank you. We still need donations of money, in-kind donations, hygiene supplies. We need toothpaste. We need a microwave. You name it, we need it. So get in touch with us at United Way.